We're back.
We only took a year off. But we had a lot of life happening.
Yeah, I am no longer pregnant.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were pregnant the entirety of season 2. That's right.
I want to say it was, when did
Or
we
even
do our last episode? I feel like I was getting close. We didn't know if I was going to be in that last one or not.
You were like 39 weeks or something.
Yeah. I made it all the way to 41 though, so we didn't have to worry.
Oh. Okay, yeah, so we're back. Season 3 of the Compassion Circle. I'm Angela, for anyone who forgot, and then we have...
I'm Kierstin.
And we're really excited to just to be back. I've been thinking about what we're going to talk about on today's podcast all morning. And when we were kind of putting together our list of what do we want season 3 to be about, I think we kind of knew right away that we wanted to do like a bit of a reintroduction of ourselves, since that was the very first podcast episode we recorded. And frankly, I look at season 1 as like we had no idea what we were doing.
True.
Like, no idea. Like half the time our audio wasn't working right. We couldn't get it recorded. We were dropping calls. From the editing standpoint, which is what I do, I had no idea what I was doing. So I knew right away that I wanted to, that we should spend some time reintroducing ourselves, because a lot has also changed in 2 years? Is that when we recorded
season 1? I think so.
Yeah.
I love how so much has changed and also so much has stayed the same, because we still do let's just hit record.
Yeah, basically that's literally what just happened, guys. I said, we started talking about Enneagrams. I was like, wait a minute, let me just hit record. And then that way I can just edit it in or edit it out and we'll just go with it. But yeah, so I know, so if we're going to be focused on reintroduction for a second, I am Angela. I am a clinical social worker. I'm also a registered yoga teacher. I own a private practice in Dallas, Texas, and yeah, I'm one of the co-hosts of the Compassion Circle. So that's me.
I'm Kierstin von Frangenberg, because I can't remember if I had that last name yet at one of the seasons.
Not in season 1. You weren't married yet in season 1.
So much has changed in the last few years, clearly. I am a certified yoga therapist and trauma-sensitive yoga instructor, and also a new mom, and a human being human.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I know, honestly, this podcast has really been traveling Kierstin's life. So she wasn't married yet in season 1. She's now married. In season 2, she was pregnant. And now in season 3, she has a 1-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is.
Yeah, let's see. I know, for me, lots of things have stayed the same. I wouldn't say too much has changed. A big thing that's changed is the practice that I own and work at. We've actually been going through this whole rebrand this year. So we're now A&P Co Collective, and we have a whole the whole concept of the practice is different. It actually is more in alignment with how I always wanted the practice to be. And even when I think about how, I don't know, just I guess some of that, the yoga mentality, the sense of community and wanting to be able to work together and collaborate together, and also have some of our own individuality and have some control and autonomy over how we're working, is kind of why I have spent recording this in June. So I've spent the last 6 months working on the rebrand and moving us further away from a traditional group practice model and into a true co-op sort of model and collective. collective model. So that's what I've been. That's pretty much like the only thing. I'm still like a mom to a very spirited little boy who's now 5 and will be going into kindergarten in the fall. I know, it's crazy. So yeah, so much has changed, but yet so much has stayed the same.
Well, and what's cool, at least from, well, I guess I don't have to say outside because obviously I get to work for and with you, but I feel like this shift, so many new beautiful things are happening. And also the second you told me that you were rebranding, I was just like, yes, because that's what it is.
Yeah, we are. We're a collective. We're not, it's not this like true like hierarchy, I guess. Like that's just not how I operate and how the practice operates. Like we honestly, I value so much autonomy, and I value creativity, and I value community and collaboration, and I feel like that makes the work that we do so much stronger. So yeah, so moving, and it's honestly been something I've wanted to do for years, but it really wasn't probably until January that I was able to fully figure out how to do it. Because at least in the world that I'm used to in our industry, this is like kind of new. Like there weren't a lot of models for me to go copy and paste, I guess. So
True Aquarius fashion. It's your job to create it, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm always doing that, which, is so funny because when we were talking about today's session or episode session, can you tell that I was in therapy sessions this morning? Today's episode, one of the things was, how do we know each other, our zodiac signs, and just kind of continuing. But yeah, like Aquarius over here, living life,
Futuristic thinking, visionary, all the things your practice has always been and continues to be.
You're right. Yeah. And I used to like really complain at times. I would be like, why is this so hard? I don't understand. And then I just sort of accept it one day that if I want it to be, I'm just going to have to build it. Like it just is. Like it just is. So yeah. So that's me being an Aquarius. And we've got, what's your zodiac, Kierstin?
I am a Sagittarius sun, a Gemini rising, and a Leo moon.
I can see the Gemini rising actually.
Well, okay, so what's wild about that is all the way up until I got my birth certificate, because after I got married, so I could do all the name changes, my mom had told me my time wrong. And so I thought I was an Aries rising. And I'm like, I know I'm fiery, but I do not think I'm triple fire.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. The Gemini rising 100% makes that my whole life changed when I found out that was really what my rising sign was. My husband's a Gemini too, so it's funny.
Oh.
He's a double Gemini. He's a Gemini sun and a Gemini rising.
Why don't you break down for anyone who's listening to this that has no idea what we're talking about? What is sun, rising, moon, and why they're important?
So you get different points of views and perspectives on this, but I think that the easiest way to look at it is your rising sign is going to be your more true personality, like how people closest to you see you. And your sun is kind of like how most of the world perceives you. And then your moon is your emotional world. So how you feel and how you see yourself the most. Now, I will say astrology has changed so much, and there are people who have practiced for so much longer than I have, and sometimes people say the rising and sun are switched, so it really depends on who you're talking to and what feels aligned to you. That's the thing that I love about personality test or astrology. I feel like it's a tool that's supposed to be helpful, and the minute it stops being helpful or it doesn't make sense, instead of trying to like force yourself into a box, you can just say that doesn't feel aligned with, or or sometimes you have to be like, it doesn't feel aligned, but it's so true.
Yeah, well, and
I was just doing earlier.
Yeah, she really was. That's why I was like, we need to turn on the recording. But that's also like very like trauma informed of you. Like build your own, you know, like it's all about your choice and how are things helpful and when are things no longer helpful. But yeah, I mean, so I'm an Aquarius sun. My moon is Taurus and my rising is Libra. And I was kind of similar. I had the time wrong and thought I was a Aquarius rising and then a moon, or no, I'm sorry, an Aquarius sun and a rising Taurus as well as a moon Taurus. And that felt like a little too much earth to actually make like the whole concept of Libras balancing the scales. And I can see that and wanting things to feel just and right, whatever that means.
Well, and also, I don't know if anybody listening here has looked at like the logo for the Compassion Circle or the Instagram page for the practice, but everything is very aesthetically pleasing, which I feel is very Libra. Like everything looks balanced and the colors just play off of each other. So
yeah, because I will say, I mean, and I don't know, maybe I just have a skewed viewpoint of things that I wear and put out and things like that. But the Aquarius part of just being very like quirky in some ways, never completely. I am quirky. I know that. But like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I walk around and people are like, she's an Aquarius. I don't know if I mean, maybe I do. Who knows? But anyway.
Well, I think that's the entry back to talking about the sun and how most people see you. And that's how I kind of explain it. That's me for people saying that I'm bubbly. Like, I don't know if that would be one of the first things that I say about myself or how I describe myself or my super close friends would. But I feel like I've heard that so many times. And in general, people say that. So it's like my sun sign Sagittarius, like super bubbly and adventurous. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would say you are adventurous. Like, for those listening, what are some of the cool jobs you've had in the past?
It wasn't a job, but I lived on a sailboat. I feel like that's the one that always gets people going.
Curious of you.
And then I was in the circus for a minute, a very amateur circus, but I got to perform in downtown Savannah. I took a what is that called? A try at, oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called now.
Contortionist, right?
Oof, no. I never got far with that, but I wanted it so bad. Cabaret dancing.
Oh, very fun.
From the circus. I did the Downtown Delilah's in Savannah. If you're ever in Savannah, anybody, it's fun. It's a fun little show.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Whenever I learn those things about you, I'm like, oh, of course she's a Sagittarius. Like, of course she's like living on a sailboat and in the circus. Like in the best way possible. But,
yeah.
So I think that kind of like, you know, so I think one of the questions would be, because I just said that like the practice that I like, the collective, is in Dallas. But you just mentioned Savannah. Where are you at now? Where do you live?
I am in Central Florida now, further away from the beach than I was in Savannah, but you know, that's okay. There are gators in my neighborhood.
Fun. Very fun. Very Floridian of you.
I just got to the point where I'm like, oh, okay, it's in the neighborhood, it's in the water. We're fine, we're friends. Excited to see it. When I first went out on a walk, one of my neighbors has a son that's a week older than Rogue, and we were walking and there were gators like on the side sunbathing, and I was like, and she was just,
I would use that. The Midwestern in me would absolutely not be able to function.
Well, and what's hilarious is when I thought we were going to move to Louisiana, that's when I was like, oh, Rogue's going to grow up being a gator wrangler or something. No, they're here too. She might still.
Yeah, I mean, you know, who knows? And we met each other like 3 years ago now, yeah? Was
Mhm.
it 3 years ago? Yeah. Um, so kind of how we met each other was through a mutual colleague and mentor, Jennifer Cristales. Give her a little shout out. She runs Yoga for Eating Disorders, and then also she's a published author. And we both, at totally completely different times, have gone through different mentoring programs with her and kind of look at her as a colleague. And I had reached out to her because, you know, in true, I guess, Aquarius fashion, the practice at that time was pivoting, and I needed someone to come on and help with some different like yoga stuff and teaching and kind of providing that part, you know, the movement part of the therapy practice. And the first thing she said was, well, do they have to be in person? And I said, no, I'm totally open to like remote. Like, who do you know? And she goes, I know Kierstin, and immediately gave me your contact information. And we just hit it off, I felt like. So, and the bubbly totally came through like the first time I met you. Yeah.
But it was such a interesting thing that I don't think she even knew that I used to live in Dallas.
Oh
And
yeah, when you said that, I was like, for real? And like
yeah.
we knew lots of the same like yoga studios and neighborhoods. I think we even knew some people similarly at the time.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that just felt right. Yeah, she had no idea.
Yeah. I don't even think when I connected with you, well, I don't remember if you had sent a website over, if we just connected talking, but I'm trying to think if I even knew that you were in Dallas until
Yeah, I'm not
we talked
sure.
last time.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I know, so random. But yeah, so like that's how we got to know each other. And I've met you in real life one time, when you came out to Dallas for we had a practice retreat. And you were pregnant,
Yes.
and that's like the first and only time that I've met you. Our entire relationship after that has been completely virtually.
Yay
Um,
for connection via internet.
I know, but I also feel like you're like I know you so well, and I don't know, like I just even me just saying I've only met you once in real life doesn't feel right. Like I'm like, no, of course I've met you many times. Of course I've met your daughter. And then I'm like, but no, actually I have not.
As soon as you said we've met one time, I almost was like, no, we've met. And then I thought about it and I was like, oh, wait, no, I was really only down there once.
I know,
So,
isn't that crazy?
yeah.
And then okay, so we've gone over how we know each other, our zodiacs. What's your Enneagram?
I'm a 2.
Mm,
And I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I get it.
hmm I'm a 7, and we was it last one of the I think it was last season. We had
Yeah.
Whitney. Yeah, we had Whitney Russell Sabile on here, and she'll be coming back, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Um, but we went through like Enneagrams and how they like relate to like eating disorder recovery and body image and things like that. So
Yeah. That was a cool episode. And also there's nothing wrong with being a 2. I just it's it's my own thing.
well, on that episode, one of the things that we talked about was sometimes the number, the type that you are, Enneagram type, there's parts of it that you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then there's like something that feels a little like I'm a little too seen, a little too cringe.
Uh-huh.
But that also is supposed to be kind of the point, like to see those layers of yourself, you know, good, bad, or ugly kind of thing.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I hit record was I was saying the same thing. I was like, there are parts of the 7 that like I really identify with. And then there are parts specifically like things that I really value. Like I really value like commitment. I really value being present with someone. And sometimes when you read different things about Enneagram 7, it makes it sound like we're like very flaky and flighty and da 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 da. And I just don't see myself that way. And I will say, I can overbook myself if I'm not careful. Like I have to really like sort of check parts of myself because I can get really excited, enthusiastic, one might say, and like immediately go like, I say yes to this and this and this, and then I sit down and I check my calendar and I'm like, they're all at the same time on the same day. Never mind. So I guess if that's part of the 7, then like, yeah, I am seen in that. So, but
What's your least favorite or favorite personality test that you've ever taken? Or I guess what feels the most aligned and the least aligned?
that's a really good question. I generally kind of lean into zodiac. I always have ever since I was like a kid. I will say that the one that I feel like is like very accurate is the Myers-Briggs, which is the I am a INFP. So that is intuitive. What does that stand for? Pause. An INFP is introverted, is my energy type. So I get energized by quiet time alone. Intuitive, I see patterns and possibilities. Feeling, I prioritize people and emotions. Perceiving, I prefer freedom and flexibility. Often called the mediator or the empath. Driven, deep empathy, creative imagination, and a strong set of personal values. Driven by idealism, they seek authenticity, purpose, striving to make the world a better place. Like I definitely like identify and always have. Like when anything I read about INFPs, I'm always like, yes. And even that, I used to remember how I wished I was an INFJ because they seemed so cool because they really like they're like the activists and the people on the street and all of that, where INFPs are a little bit more reserved. And I've always admired like the people that are like out on the street, XYZ, like fighting for the good fight. But in truth, if I'm being totally honest, like I am a little bit more behind the scenes. Like I uh I'm pretty much never going to be out there with the megaphone, I guess. But recording a podcast, sure. You know what I mean? So
I think that's the first time I've ever been called cool and you didn't even know you were calling me cool. So
are you an INFJ? He's been so like I've always admired you guys.
yeah, that's what I was looking at earlier because I knew one of my friends and I had taken it maybe right before I was pregnant. We retook it because I remember taking it in high school or right. And so I couldn't remember what I was and she was asking. And so I was scrolling through our screenshotted pictures to figure out. And she is an INFP as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So INFJs, the difference is the J, which is judging. INFJs are known for their seeming contradictions, which often make them feel misunderstood. But yeah, they tend to be like the advocate, even says on here, like they're often called the advocates. But yeah, I'm an INFP man. That's cool. That's why we get along so well. Amanda, the other yoga teacher here, she's an INFP as well. I feel like that's actually kind of, maybe it's not like, maybe it's just the world that like I operate in, but I feel like I know a lot of INFPs, INFJs. I know some ENFJs too.
What is Amanda's Enneagram? Do you know?
I think she's 4.
See, I always think the 4s are the coolest. That's what I
know. Yeah. Me too. I think they are pretty cool. They're like so artsy. Like, well, they're just like very creative. They just kind of and they kind of just like do what feels right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good question. I didn't even think I was going to talk about being an INFP. I like it. Okay, so my other question is, what kind of movements have you been loving lately?
Our morning walks have been my favorite thing. I look forward to getting up bright and early in the morning because I have a FOMO baby who does not like sleep. Um, but I grab our dog and our wagon and we go on a walk all around the neighborhood and she really loves birds right now. So she's pointing out all the birds that she still sometimes calls dogs, but we're working on it. And it's just been real nice moving first thing in the morning. And also it gets so hot here. So being out first thing in the morning has been nice.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel that. I'm like, it's so, we're actually having a very hot and humid summer so far here in Dallas, which I mean, yes, it's Texas, but it's so humid out. It's very unpleasant. And I also like not used to it. I'm like, I'd rather it be much hotter and not quite so humid, but yeah, but I feel that need to get out like first thing in the morning. I miss baby walks. Like, that's the one thing. I was even talking to my son about it the other day. I used to put you in the stroller and we would just go for a walk for an hour every day, and it was amazing. And he's like, "Oh, why don't we do that now?" And I'm like, "Because you don't ride in a stroller anymore. You haven't for years." We do take him out on his bike and stuff, but that's not quite as relaxing. I'm a little bit more like, car, ditch, stop.
Yeah, I can't imagine because she'll deal with the morning walk and sometimes we can do another one in the stroller, but she wants to walk now that she's walking, which we don't make it that far yet because everything is the most interesting thing in the world to her. So I think we've made it all of 3 houses down.
Yep.
But yes, we're learning right now the difference between the sidewalk being okay, the grass being okay, the road not being okay.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So I definitely like, but he rode pretty well in the stroller until he was, I'm gonna say like two. We would go on walks and stuff, but I could still like put him in and we could still kind of just like cruise about. But I would say definitely after 2, he was like, I shall use my own 2 little legs. But, seasons of life. That's us being moms. I've been doing, not to be cliche, but I've been doing a lot of Pilates lately.
I love it.
Very 2026 of me, I know. But I got a reformer for the house in February. I bought it like for my birthday, and it was like my gift to myself, and I love it. It's actually made me like, I feel like it's been really good for my brain because I'm not like comfortable enough that I can just like coast. Do you know what I mean? Like where I can just like do it myself. So like I'm watching YouTube classes and I'm having to really like think about that movement that I'm doing. So it's like really it's really created this new experience of mindfulness for me. And also having to like the coordination and like the dual like the bilateral movements that are very new and different. Really, I don't know, like I literally sometimes will like end a class and I'll go, that was really like my brain had to really think about that, or like, you know what I mean, like double kicks or whatever, and pointing one foot, flexing the other, like really thinking about it in a way, just in a new way. So I'm like, oh, look at that neuroplasticity. That's exciting. Can still learn new things. So
yeah, love that. I miss stretching on a reformer.
oh my
I can
God.
like feel it right now thinking about it.
It is amazing. That's like my fate. Like I probably do at least one or two like stretch mobility classes a week. And yeah, that resistance, there is something so different than like versus having just like a resistant band to do stretching with. Like
Right.
it really is different.
Yeah. I love how you brought up the mind connection in the movement as well, because I feel like even though yoga is supposed to be all about mindfulness, if you're practicing the same shapes or same sequence, it can be a really beautiful, helpful thing. But after a certain amount of time, like I can really easily get out of my mindfulness brain, even though I'm doing something that's supposed to be for mindfulness. So switching it up is helpful.
Yes. Well, and I mean, I had been a little bored, honestly. Like, and I think like the part of me that probably identifies as an Enneagram 7, like that ADHD part of my brain, like I need novelty, I need new things. And I think I was just needing like a new challenge. And with just the way like life, my momhood is, all the things that going to Pilates classes was just really hard, but I really craved like the sensation of the reformer. So finally I was like, shoot, I'm just going to get my own. And, you know, Amazon, if you want to like, if you want to sponsor this, they had reformer deals. So I was like, I'm going to do that. So anyway.
Amazon will tag you.
Yes, and I will get the brand Leisure King.
We'll tag you too.
But yeah. So question. What's the last show that you watched?
I'm watching a new one right now, actually.
What is it?
It's called Three Women, or The Three Women, or something like that. And it's on Stars.
Oh, I've not even heard of it.
So Shailene Woodley, I love her.
Oh, I love her.
Great. Okay, yeah. So I didn't even go seeking this or anything, but I guess it's loosely based off of a true story of an author who was stuck, had writer's block, and went on a road trip to the Midwest. And she found three women that she just found fascinating. And so the episodes are telling their stories. And
ooh, that's good. I like that.
It's interesting.
I like that. I've been having a hard time with TV lately, to be totally honest. I've been watching a lot of like I've been watching a lot of YouTube stuff. Like so I'll say one part of why I haven't been craving anything too serious. Like I've been craving things that are just like easy, I can just put on, maybe learn something. So I randomly stumbled into this account. It's called like American Viscountess or something. And she's American, but she married the Viscount of Sandwich in England. Like this is real, for real. And she like travels around and tells all of the like history and stories of all of the big like opulent houses, like estates and stuff all over the UK. And it is fascinating. And she's just also like very bubbly. It's just like interesting and kind of fun, and very like she's from Chicago. I don't know, like it's easy watching. Plus I really want to go to the UK. So
how long are the episodes normally, or
like an hour?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like, it's like full production. Yeah, it's good. Anyway, that's interesting. So that's what I've been watching, guys.
I've been really into audiobooks recently because when I was pregnant, I started reading fiction again, and that was fun. And then Rogue stopped napping. Not that she's ever been great at it, but it was harder. It's been hard to pick up a book. So audiobooks. I'm in a book club now. Which is fun. And all the other moms listen to audiobooks. And so I've been doing that. And
what are you listening to?
We Are All Guilty here. I really like psychological thrillers and mysteries. So it's about some people got kidnapped, and then the story continues 12 years later with another missing person.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I used to read a lot of psychological thrillers, and then like 2 years ago, I decided maybe I'm just tired. I'm gonna blame the 2020s. Okay, I'm just tired. So now I watch Americans in Europe and I read romantasy. So I'm like, what is not reality? That's all I want. Things that aren't stressful. But I just finished Ballads of Fallen Dragons. It's the second book to When the Moon Hatched, and it is so good. It's very it's just like a really beautiful story. I don't know, it's like very lyrically written, and it's just like really whimsical and really beautiful. But that's what I just finished. It's a long book though.
We're about to read Firefly Lane, and I know that it's supposedly a series on Netflix.
The book is so good.
Is it? Okay.
Oh my gosh. So that author was one of my favorite authors. I'm like 2, maybe 3 books removed from like some of her current publishing, but I read Firefly Lane when I was in grad school.
Oh wow.
My roommate's sister, who was older, read it, and she just like left a copy, and I was like, what is this? I was so emotionally wrecked by this book.
Oh no.
That I remember my roommate coming home, and I'm just sitting on the couch like sobbing, and she's like, what's wrong? I was like, this book that your sister left you. Anyway, the show is good on Netflix, but the book is.
It's always the case. It's very rare. I feel like Harry Potter, which I was so young when I read the books that I wasn't even in that phase anymore when the movies came out. So maybe that's why I didn't care. But I feel like Harry Potter's been the closest okay with the books.
They did pretty good, I will say. The last book and the last Harry Potter I have issues with. Because the book was so good, and I don't feel like they did it justice in the movie. Okay, so so for the podcast for this next season, we did like the first season, we didn't really know what we were doing. The second season, we kind of focused it on women's health. The third season, we're kind of, I think maybe just kind of revisiting like more of like an eclectic sense. So like we don't have like a hard and firm topic outside of how, outside of mental health, eating disorder recovery, and then embodiment practices. Like that's kind of just the overall theme, I feel like, of the podcast. So when we think about season 3, I feel like it's just more storytelling, because that's so much of what we love, and looking at different, let me actually pull up, where's our list? I'll splice this part together. Also, can I say how annoying it is that I'm still congested? It's been like 3 weeks. It is like
it's like the never-ending earache, but now it's congestion.
Okay. So anyway, so some of the topics that you can kind of expect to be hearing us cover on this season is some conversations around grief and loss, how much woo can exist in the therapy room, Anapro is back and how to stay away from that trend. I can't even believe we have to cover that in 2026, but here we are. And then you can expect like some more more great guests, highlighting, you know, different practitioners that we know, as well as bringing back some folks from some of our most popular seasons, or most popular episodes, that were most listened to, for some follow-ups and just kind of continuing our initial conversations. What for you, Kierstin, what are you like most looking forward to about season 3?
I guess just continuing to talk to the practitioners that we talked to last season and meeting some new guests. I think every time we did an episode with a guest, I would think, this is my favorite. This was the best topic. They're the best. And then it would just happen every time. Like everybody you come in contact with is amazing.
Yeah. I just love exactly what you just said. I just love getting to talk, like just getting to talk with you, but then also talk with just such other like kick-ass knowledgeable people that just have their own they have like great like experience and backgrounds, but also just their own take on things and their own, not just opinions and not just hot takes. Like, I'm not talking about that, but like truthfully, like just their own way of approaching a topic, approaching a situation, and how to, I mean, we're talking like we're gonna have an episode on Anapro. Like, we're talking about some really like serious, like deep shit, you know, and just the way that they can approach the conversation with so much compassion and through that lens of storytelling that I know that like I so appreciate, especially in a podcast. That's what I'm looking most forward to.
I would forget that I was a co-host of the podcast when we had a guest on, because I'd just be sitting there listening to them. Like, you keep talking, you're doing great. Like, I've got nothing.
And like such great stories. That's what also I love, because such a part of this podcast is, you know, weaving our own experiences into our topics and stories too. Because we're just humans doing human things, you know. Whether we're yoga teachers or we're somatic therapists or we're, you know, dietitians or whatever, like we're still just humans. And I think about that's important, specifically from that lens of compassion. Like, we need to remember that, you know, that's where we get to really extend that sense of generosity to ourselves and to others.
Yeah. I have a question for you, and possibly if people want to comment down below, I think this would be a great thing to bring online. So we're almost in summer, and I feel like people are constantly talking about prepping for summer bodies, whatever that means. So I thought maybe we could share what summer connection, like what is the thing we're excited to connect to in the summer that feels special about the summer instead.
Ooh, I love that. Well, I know for me, something that I always love about summer is the more relaxed atmosphere. Like, everything about summer just feels a little less stressful, a little less busy. Everything's you know, there's less traffic about. The kids are out of school. Maybe they're going to summer camp, but even summer camp is more relaxed. Like, everything is just a little bit more effortless. And then tied into that, I think about, like, for me is like making homemade ice cream and watermelon and swimming, and like that's I love about summer is how all of that ties together.
That makes me so excited for summer.
What about you?
Okay, so this isn't necessarily summer specific, but it's going to be for me. So we went on a mini vacation to Cocoa Beach, and my husband's a big surfer. And I had started learning how to surf, and then I got pregnant and I haven't, anyways, he was pushing me around on a surfboard and I had so much fun. And it was cool. I think when I was first trying to learn how to surf, I felt like a lot of it was fun, but I also felt so pressured to like catch a wave. Like I wanted it so bad that it took some of the fun out of it for me. I had so much fun just being connected to the water. I wasn't anxious at all. I have this thing where I think it's because I lived on a boat and constantly had access to things where I could be like snorkeling and underwater and scuba diving. So it felt really meditative to be underwater scuba diving, but then being on top of a surfboard, I felt a little anxious about like not being able to see what was around me because I was above the surface. And I didn't notice that at all. And it was fun to just be in that. He was pushing me around on the surfboard. Like I wasn't even trying to do it super seriously, or it was a fun connection to him. It was a fun connection to the water, appreciating it from a different angle instead of having to be underwater, and moving my body in a different way and in ways that I haven't in a while. So new connection to self. I don't know. It's gonna be my summer thing. I feel like is trying to
Ooh,
surf with my husband.
I love that. And what a great like connection for you, connection for the two of you.
Mhm. Rogue will get to hang out with
Yeah.
Nana, so another connection for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and when I think about the effortless summer that I always like the atmosphere of summer, part of that is there's a lot of connection. Like you have people like for us, we have people over swimming all the time. We're
Mhm.
swimming all the time. We'll be traveling back to see family a couple times this summer. Like just there's so much connection in that. But yeah, I love that question. So yeah, if anyone has any thoughts or wants to share, um, yeah, what are you looking forward to connecting with this summer? We'd love to hear from you.